Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Residence Solstice video, and we are going to be talking about the lineup I used initially in the game. I got incredibly lucky with my pulls. If you're re-rolling, you may be in a similar circumstance. I can't say how lucky I've been since day one on my pulls. I mean, just 2 days ago when I was doing some pulls, I got a triple SSR banner, and I've had more than one of those. So yeah, I don't know what's in the tea, so to speak, that they're drinking, but I'm not complaining at all. But again, I've been playing this game since day one, so this team is a hell of a lot more built up than it originally was. But this team has been basically my main team to push the general content. Again, you're going to need to use specific teams when you're doing the cores in particular, furnace core, etc. And that's one of the other nice aspects they have, that they have so many squads that you can build and save in here, which I absolutely adore. But if you're new to the game, of course, there's certain keys to builds in this game, and you can do things around specific characters. I've seen so many good builds with Charlotte, for instance. And I'll have a link in the description too for, of course, the Prydwenguides page that has, they post builds there. You can get those codes there. I'll have the code for this one here. But this team I threw together day one, and it just seems to push content. I would love to tell you that I analyzed every little bit about this game coming up with this team, but of course when you're first starting out with a game, you're just putting together whatever you can for a team, and then you're off to the races. The only difference was I did not have Margiela at first. I didn't pull her, I believe, until a few days later. I slotted her in. But of course, my favorite character, and one that most people are of course pulling for if you are playing this game, is Nayuta. Nayuta is amazing draw power. The buff, the shuffling, everything this character does. This character is justifiably on the top of most people's tier lists. The invisible becomes incredibly helpful at times, which is great. And of course, if you max him, which was the only character I actually went hard for over the first 2 weeks to build out, it gets crazy when you look at his awakening, when the invisible grants to all allies. But again, this is not what I had early on at all, and was pushing content well before he was even past 2 stars. I just dove deep into Nayuta in the last few days because the banner was going to be going away. But that character alone becomes a staple. Our first main character banner, limited banner, was Arena, and she's great. And the thing that surprises me most about this character and why I like using her is because of the heal. Yes, you've got control and buff, but then there's a secret. She can actually do some damn good damage, which gets crazy at times, and her skill set is really nice, especially with the confused. It's just, she does a lot to help your team out. I think she is a very good character. On top of that, of course, Stella. I mean, what can you say about Stella with more draw power with her? The cost, just, she helps out a lot. I've only been able to pull one of her, and she has been, those 3 characters alone become mainstays. The other 2 in this could be honestly moved and substituted for other characters, but again, those 3 together, and this team in and of itself is more of a sustain type team. It's not the quickest team to kill. If you're looking to get those times down, you're going to go more specific on certain things. But a well-rounded team that seems to hold its position throughout is what really makes this team hold out. And probably my favorite character, and one that I hate to use the word underrated, because if you got this character, you know how good it is Connor. Running that front line, the guard, has some more control, the buffing abilities. I mean, the skills on this character are just great with the stun. You have chill. Again, this team is, again, nothing more than a push team early to mid game if you have these characters available to you. I don't expect this team will stay the same as I push harder content. But if you're starting out in the game and you have these characters, definitely highly recommend, because I had no issues. The key I did early on, just so you're aware, is level, constantly level. So when I broke a level, I leveled all my main team characters. Broke a level, did the same. I didn't even push the reso right away on these characters until much later, till I broke level 40, just so you're aware. And then I started pushing these because I knew I would be using these characters not only in this main build for now, but also they all seem to be slotting into other core specific teams that I use for different types of content, so it doesn't make it a waste to put into them. But Connor is probably the character that I absolutely was the most shocked with how effective and helpful that character can be. And then, as I mentioned before, Margiela, put that in, going to give you some more draw, heal, control, etc. It does a great amount of damage. Just an all-around very strong character to round it out, because I felt like this team needed some more push and damage on it, because again, this team plays more like a true sustain team, so it takes longer, but they don't die, and they just keep cycling and just chipping away and chipping away. And again, when you're just trying to get through the content at first, it's been very, very effective. Now, I didn't disable a lot of cards in this particular team because I treated it more as a sustain team. I want them to just keep pushing and moving and pushing and moving forward, just getting that health bar down lower and lower, even if it took a while, because again, I sound like a broken record, my main concern was pushing the content. And still now, as of right now, I'm still putting this team out there for all my general gameplay, and I've had little to no issue. I think I've had one loss so far in the last 5 days that I can remember playing content, and I'm talking even content that is above my level. So they really do keep themselves alive, cycle that deck, and of course push through even harder content. So I gotta say, I'm pretty ecstatic about that. When you talk about the gearing on teams such as this, early on, I went the route of, because you don't have a lot of great equips, and quite honestly, you still probably don't at this point in time in the game, I went with early on a lot of HP, attack, anything that was going to keep them alive longer was my first focus. And then as I've moved away from that, I'm looking for more character specific equipment. But don't overly burden yourself with the equipment issue, especially early game. Make sure you are just keeping your characters alive, because again, having that extra AP or attack, etc., whatever you need, could be all that it will take to get you to be able to push through to the next level that you're trying to get through. So keep that in mind. So yeah, so this is just kind of, I've kind of called this the gobbledygook team, because usually by now in a game, I have a very specific team planned out. I did not expect this team to just keep pushing content as well as it has. So yeah, again, I know a lot of people aren't going to have every one of these characters. So when you go to if you go to replace one or two of them, just you're looking for a similar type of character, just maybe in the SR version. It's not difficult in this game. You are able to fill out your rosters fairly easily in this game. And don't be scared to level up other characters, because you're creating so many teams. for different content, the likelihood of you having to use another character in another team gets very high the farther you go as you're pushing through content such as the core content, etc. So just keep that in mind. But this was just kind of a fun little video, show you guys what I used early on. I'll have the code, of course, in the description for it. I'm going to be having some more videos coming at you. I want to do specific teams for each of the cores, especially when I push past level 50 on those cores and get them to the higher, more difficult levels where you have to meet certain requirements. I'll be doing that, as well as, of course, a host of other videos planned, including one on building your revenue, because it's so important in this game. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.